Okay, hello, welcome to your hip-focused mandala flow. During today's class, we will be focusing on relieving stress through all kind of surrounding muscles to our pelvis. This is lovely Jessica, and she will be demonstrating variations of our asanas. So if at any point you feel like you need a little bit more support through props, do check to see what Jessica is doing, and she will be doing a fine demonstration. We are going to start in a reclined butterfly. So if you bring yourself over to your mat and do grab 2 blocks. We're going to invite this to be quite a passive stretch to start with. So soles of the feet come together. And just bring the feet a little bit wider away from the pelvis here. Then slot both of your blocks underneath your knees, just supporting the joint. And then gently start to use the hands, guide yourself all the way down to the earth, adjusting as you go here. Take a moment to wiggle the shoulders out, check that the shoulder girdle is really wide into the earth. We'll just take a few moments to arrive into our space. Allowing the eyes to close. And the body to soften. Start to check in with how you're feeling as you arrive onto your mat today. Maybe taking a nice body scan from head to toe. And really noticing any sensation that the body offers. Are there any tight spaces? Anywhere you might be manifesting stress in the body? Are you working with an injury? Really observing. But as you soften into this stillness, start to bring your awareness to your natural breath. Just noticing where in the body you are breathing and how this breath resonates. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Is it into the belly, the ribs, or even the chest? Really allowing this focus to ground and anchor you into this present moment. Floating both hands and placing them gently on top of your belly. We're going to start to deepen into that breath. So following my rhythm here, taking a deep inhale through the nose for 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Exhale. Continuing this deep rhythm of breath here, long and slow. Really finding a rhythm that suits you, that you can support the body with throughout your practice. This deep breath signaling to the body that it is safe and that that fight or flight response can switch off. Take 2 more breaths. Slowly starting to guide the knees back to center, grounding both soles of the feet into your earth. Just noticing the inner thigh there, how does that feel? And then hugging the knees in towards the chest, holding around your shins. And just bringing that length through the lower spine, maybe taking a gentle rock from side to side. And then finding stillness in center, we'll make our way into a happy baby, sending both feet up to the ceiling, bringing the knees a little bit wider than your rib cage here. Take hold of maybe your calves, your ankles, maybe the sides of your feet. And really allow the knees to fall out towards the side. Check that the pelvis is still grounded down to the earth there, so you're lengthening through the spine. Send the breath into the belly. And really invite the hips to soften. By finding this stillness at the beginning of our class, we get deeper into our connective tissue, our fascia. Releasing the clasp here, hug the knees back in towards your chest, and then start to draw some circles with the knees. Just massaging the hip joint here, lubricating and creating space. Finding this as fast or as slow as feels good for you today, and then maybe switching direction. And then dropping both feet back down to the earth, nice and parallel to start. Bring the arms into a T shape. Take up as much space as you need, and then heel toe the feet as wide as the edges of your mat. And then going to drop both knees over towards the left hand side, inviting a nice twist there through the lower spine and into the waist. Keep the gaze up towards the ceiling here. Focus on the lower body to start. Inhaling to bring the knees back to center. Exhaling up and over to the right. 2 breaths into the belly. Inhaling, knees back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Take hold behind the back of your thigh, and then we'll take some gentle rock and rolls up and down your spine. Building that momentum gradually here. Taking as many as you need. And then making your way to a seated position, start to cross your ankles, roll over your knees and make your way into a tabletop position. So our foundational pose here, something we all know quite well, but just check in with your alignment, spreading them fingers nice and wide. Checking that the hand is directly stacked underneath your shoulders. Gazing down at the knees, they're hip width apart. And you're slightly activating the feet there, pushing them into the earth, feeling that lift through your shin. Take a big inhale through the nose all together. Exhale, sigh out the mouth, release. Good, take another cleansing breath. Big inhale. Big exhale. Inhaling to drop the belly, lift the gaze and find that first cow. Exhale, round the spine, push the floor away, draw the chin to chest. Inhale, drop the belly, drawing shoulders back. Exhale, curve. Good, 3 more following your own breath. Really wiggling out any tension you might be holding through the spine, through the shoulders. And then once you've taken your 3 rounds, floating back to a neutral tabletop. And then exhaling, child's pose. Sit the hips back onto your heels here. Reach the fingertips forward. Find that connection of the rib cage down to your thighs and see if you can breathe into the back body. At any point during our practice, you can make your way back to your child's pose, this beautiful rest pose. Inhaling back to your tabletop position. Spreading fingers even wider. Start to tuck both of your toes. Now protract up into your shoulder blades. So push the floor away. Find that doming. And then as you exhale, float the knees off the earth. Downward facing dog. Keep a generous bend in your knees here. Pushing the floor away. Closing that gap between your shoulders and your ears. Really let the scapula rise up the spine. Drawing belly button in towards the spine. Create that space through the belly. And focus on lifting the tailbone that extra inch. Feeling that heat starting to resonate through the breath here. Take a big inhale, bend your knees even further, gaze towards your fingers. Exhaling to take as many little steps as you need. Walk towards the top of your mat and find your forward fold. Feet hip width apart. Again, generous bend into your knees, connecting that lower rib cage to your thighs. Dropping the head, gazing in between your knees, maybe even taking hold of either elbow and giving yourself that little rock from side to side. You're just releasing any compression on the spine here, lengthening out the vertebrae. Inhaling, halfway lift, tracking the hands up your shins, real length through the back of the neck. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forwards. Again, big inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Say hello to them hamstrings. Exhale, fold forwards. Last time, inhale, rippling through the spine. Exhale, fold.
Inhaling to roll up, stack each vertebrae, find your high mountain. Floating the palms together above the head. Keep the gaze forward for this first one. Exhale, draw the hands towards heart center. We'll take a nice cleansing breath, inhaling through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, high mountain. Scoop the energy. Exhale, fold forwards, bend the knees, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, ground your palms, spread the fingers nice and wide, step back to your high plank. Good, now first high plank here, so really push that floor away, draw the belly in, and of course, drop the knees to the earth. If that serves the body better, we'll take 2 more big breaths. Exhaling to lower the knees, untuck your toes. Now bend into your elbows and bring that chest and chin down towards the earth. Keep the elbows in towards the rib cage. Inhaling to peel it forwards, low cobra. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, lower down. Good, now squeeze your glutes again one more time. Big inhale, low cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhaling through your tabletop. Exhaling, downward facing dog, lifting the hips all the way to the ceiling. Good. Maybe this time you want to take some walks through the heels here and really pedal out the backs of your legs. Maybe even giving the hips a sway from side to side. Really just organically opening the tight spaces in your body. Finding stillness. Take a big inhale, bend your knees, gaze to your fingers. Exhaling to step to the top of your mat, find your forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, high mountain, rise all the way up. Maybe this time taking the gaze towards your thumbs, inviting that slight arch through the cervical spine. Exhaling, fold forwards, hinging at your hips, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, ground your palms, step back to your high plank, nice and strong. 2 breaths. Taking a big inhale all together. Exhaling through your vinyasa. Your choice here, yogis. Keep your knees lifted if that's in your practice. Inhaling into your back bend, low cobra or up dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog, lifting the hips, sighing it out through the mouth. Really releasing any tension. We'll take that sun salutation one final time. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze to your fingers. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, find your forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, high mountain, rise all the way up, finding that little arch through the spine. Exhale, flow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump. Flow through your vinyasa. Follow your own breath. Big exhale once you reach your down dog. Know that you can lower to your child's pose at any point if you need. Inhaling, right leg lifts to the ceiling. 3-legged dog. Taking one breath here, keeping the hips nice and square, flexing through that right foot. Exhaling, knee to nose, hug it in towards your chest. Transfer that weight forward over the wrists. Inhale, lengthen, send it long. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Taking that however feels good for you there. Use the hands, drop the knee if you need. Untuck your toes. Good. Making your way here all together for one big breath. Inhaling, fingertips rise to the ceiling. Full variation of your low lunge. Now checking that you're not kind of sinking into your hips here. You're pushing into that front foot, tucking your pelvis, drawing belly button into spine. Really getting that stretch through the front of the left quad. One more big breath. On your next exhale, I'm going to find baby warrior 2. So bringing the left toes over towards the right hand side of your mat. Start to stack open your hips and bring the arms parallel to the earth. Good. Now, if you need a blanket underneath that left knee, please use one. If you need to use the hands to help yourself shift around, please feel free. Gazing forward over that right middle finger, drawing the right knee back. Take one more breath here, lifting up and out of your waist. Exhaling to drop down your left hand, baby half moon. Now you can keep them right toes grounded to the earth here, or you can start to hover them off, engage the core even more and squeeze through both of your glutes. Lengthening that right arm all the way up to the ceiling. One more breath. On your next exhale, drop down the right hand to face the back of your mat here. Step back to your high plank. Remembering that you can keep the knees lower to the earth here if you need. Building strength through your core. One breath. Exhaling, downward facing dog here, lifting the hips all the way up to the ceiling, pushing the floor away. Inhaling, right leg lifts. So same leg, three-legged dog. Exhaling to step it outside of your right hand. Finding your lizard. Start to drop down your left knee and untuck your left toes. Good. Now, option is to stay here. Option to have blocks underneath your hands for a little extra support here. If you want to deepen into this quite strong hip flexor stretch, you can start to peel onto the outside edge of your right foot and then maybe come down onto blocks or your elbows. Just listening to whatever it is your body needs today, remembering no forcing, only using the breath to deepen. Softening on your exhale, one more breath. Inhaling to come back onto the hands. If you've lowered, start to glue down the right sole of that foot back to the earth. Tucking the left toes, lift your left knee off the earth, active lizard, and pivot round towards the left hand side to find wide-legged forward fold. Now using your blocks underneath your hands here if you need, or maybe even bringing the hands onto the shin bones. Finding a halfway lift to lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, slowly fold that forward, releasing the top of your skull all the way down towards the earth. Holding no judgments on how far your body comes here, just releasing and softening with the breath. Keeping that weight forward in your toes, and of course taking a slight bend into the knees if you feel any pressure through the knee joint. On your next inhale, find a nice halfway lift. Hands to blocks, fingertips or your shins. And then on your exhale, we'll bend into that right knee, sit nice and low, feel the inside of that left thigh. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bend the left knee. Good, keeping the feet exactly as they are. Inhale, center. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, center. Exhale, runner's lunge to the top of your mat. So we've created a full circle here, framing your foot. Remembering, of course, you can use blocks underneath your fingertips if you need. Inhaling, left fingertips rise to the ceiling, finding easy spinal twist. Taking the gaze up towards your left fingertips here. And checking you've got space between your shoulder and that left ear. Keep pushing the floor away with your right hand. Don't collapse into your shoulders here. And then exhale, lower the left fingertips down to the earth, coming back to frame that left foot. Take a deep inhale all together, and as you exhale, find your pyramid pose. Shift the hips back, straightening through that left leg. Good. Now, option here is to shorten the stance of that right foot and pivot down your right heel. You can bring the hands onto blocks or your shins. Just finding a version of this pose here that suits your bodies. Checking that the hips are nice and square, drawing that right hip forward, left hip back. Take one more breath, lengthening your spine. Inhaling back to your runner's lunge, bending into that left knee. And then we'll exhale into our standing split. So bringing the fingertips to the top of your mat, maybe even to blocks. You're going to shift your weight onto that left leg. Now again, keep the hips nice and square. And then start to hover the right toes off the earth here. Doesn't matter how high they come, you just want that supporting leg to be nice and active, lifting the kneecap and engaging your quad. With every exhale, you fold that little bit further over the hamstring. Grounding down the right toes, come back to your runner's lunge. And then inhale, both fingertips float to the ceiling, high crescent. Lengthening here, keep that weight forward and up. Take a big exhale, warrior two. Pivot down your right heel and stack open your hips. Floating the arms parallel to the earth. Take the gaze over that left middle finger. Inhaling to straighten through the left leg. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle. So reach the left fingertips forward before you come down. And then float them to the inside of your left shin. Rise the right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Maybe take your gaze with you. And just check you're not sticking out that left bum cheek here. So really engaging the hamstring and your glute. Inhaling back to your warrior two. Exhaling to cartwheel down the hands, framing the left foot. Good. Grounding your palms down to the earth. Take a big inhale. Send the left leg high. Three-legged dog. Lengthening, pushing the floor away. Exhaling through your vinyasa here. That can be three-legged, or you can lower your knees. Take a big exhale once you reach your down dog. And we'll flow through that sequence on our second side. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, hug it to your chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step it in between your hands, low lunge, dropping down that right knee. Inhaling, fingertips rise, lengthening to the ceiling, pushing into that left foot. Take 2 breaths here. Feel that stretch into your quad. Exhaling, baby warrior 2. Bring the right toes over to the left hand side here. Stack your hips. Yes, drawing that left knee back, gazing over that left middle finger. And really check that you're lifting and engaging your core to keep the weight off of that right knee. Exhaling, baby half moon. Ground down the right hand. Float the left toes off the earth. Engaging your belly. One more breath to lengthen. Exhale, high plank to the back of your mat, dropping that left hand down, stepping right foot back. Take one big strong breath here. Sending hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale to step it outside of your left hand this time, lizard on your second side. Dropping down the right knee, untucking the toes. Trying to match whatever you did on that first side here. So maybe you stayed here, maybe you peeled onto the outside edge of that left foot. Maybe you came down onto your elbows or to your blocks. Take two more deep breaths. Inhaling to come back to your hands, grounding down the sole of that left foot. Start to tuck your right toes and lift your right knee off the earth. Exhaling, pivoting to the right hand side, wide-legged forward fold. Really turning in your toes. Good, getting that stretch down the outside of your ankle. Come to your halfway lift here first, really lengthening the skull. Exhale, fold it forwards, releasing down. Let the weight of the head here lengthen the vertebrae of the spine. A slight inversion, bring an energy quite softly into the body. Inhaling, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale to bend your left knee, that prep for our Skandasana here. Say hello to that right inner thigh. Yes, inhale, center. Exhale, bend the right knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, center. Exhaling, runner's lunge at the top of your mat, framing that right foot, so completing the circle here. Come onto your fingertips or your blocks and take a big inhale all together. Exhaling, pyramid, shift the hips back, straightening through that right knee. Take your version here. Inhaling, runner's lunge, ripple forwards. Bringing the fingertips to the top of your mat, maybe to blocks. Exhaling, standing split. Transfer the weight onto that right leg. Good. Really building strength here through the hamstring. Folding a little bit further on each exhale. Grounding down your left toes, runner's lunge. Inhaling, high crescent, float both fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, warrior two, pivot down your left heel, open the hips. Good, gazing over that right middle finger. Check that the torso is nice and central here and that we're not kind of leaning forward and distorting our rib cage. Inhaling to straighten through the right leg. Exhale, Trikonasa, flip open that right palm, reach it forward as you come down. Always option to have the left hand on your left hip here instead of reaching them fingertips to the ceiling. Have a little play and see what serves you best. Inhaling back to your warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel down the hands, frame the foot, runner's lunge. Good, grounding your palms, big inhale, three-legged dog, sweep the right leg high. Exhale through your vinyasa, rinse out your breath. Take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Drop your knees down to your tabletop and then sink your hips back onto your heels. And just invite yourself into a child's pose here for a few moments to really soften through the breath. On your next inhale, start to float back to your tabletop position. And then we'll tuck the toes, come back to our downward facing dog. We're going to move through that flow, one breath, one movement. Really finding a nice fluid movement quality here. Allowing the breath to initiate our flow. Take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, hug it to your chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Find that low lunge, drop down your left knee, untuck your toes. Inhaling, fingertips rise to the ceiling. Full variation of that low lunge. On your exhale, start to circle the arms open through the chest. Inhale, fingertips rise. Exhale, open. Last time, big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, fingertips rise. Exhale, baby warrior 2. Left toes to the right side, stack open your hips. Take a big inhale all together. Exhale, grounding down the left hand, baby half moon. Float the right toes here if you can, engage the core. Nice big inhale. Exhale, high plank to the back of your mat, stepping that left foot back. Good, take a deep inhale all together. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Straight away, inhale, right leg lifts to the ceiling. Exhale, lizard, step it outside your right hand. Good, keep your left knee lifted this time, a more active lizard, of course using blocks underneath your hands if you need. Building a little more strength into our flexibility here, one more breath. On your next exhale, pivoting round towards the left hand side, wide-legged forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold it forwards. Good, find that again, big inhale, halfway lift. Fluid spine, exhale, fold. Last time, big inhale. Big exhale. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift, fingertips to the earth or your blocks. Exhale, bend your right knee, sit nice and low. Yes, inhale, center. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, center. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, center. Exhale, runner's lunge, top of your mat, framing that left foot. Take a big inhale all together. Exhale, pyramid, shift the hips back. One deep breath. Inhale, runner's lunge. Exhale, standing split, shift that weight forward onto your left leg. Yes, one breath here, testing that balance. Exhaling to drop the right toes down. Inhaling, high crescent, sweeping fingertips all the way to the ceiling. Good, this time on your exhale, cactus, bend into that right knee. Hover the knee just off the earth. Yes, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen.
Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, warrior two, open the hips. Good, big inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, Trikonasana, float the fingertips down. Big inhale all together. Big exhale, release. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame the foot. Inhaling, three-legged dog, sweep it high. Exhale through your vinyasa, your choice on your knees, yogis. Listen to your bodies. Big exhale, release. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, hug it to the chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, low lunge, step it in between the hands with control, lower the knee. Inhale, sweeping fingertips high. Exhale, circle the arms. Good, open that chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, baby warrior two. Keep that weight lifted off of your right knee. Good, take a big inhale all together. Exhale, baby half moon, ground down the right fingertips, hover the left toes off the earth. Take a big inhale together. Exhale, high plank towards the back of your mat, stepping the right foot back. Yes, take a big inhale together. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the hips. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it outside your left hand this time, lizard on your second side. Keep that right knee lifted here if you can. Push the floor away with your hands. On your next exhale, pivoting to the right hand side, wide-legged forward fold. Stay in your halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold it forwards. Good, we'll ripple through that spine here. Big inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips to blocks, earth, or your shins. Exhale, bend your left knee. Good, feel that inner thigh stretch. Inhale, center. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, center. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, center. Exhale, runner's lunge, top of your mat. Complete that circle. Frame the foot. Big inhale all together. Exhale, pyramid, shift the hips back. Good, one beautiful deep breath. Inhale, runner's lunge. Exhaling, standing split, shift the weight forward. Use your blocks here if you need. Exhaling to lower down the left toes. Inhaling, sweep fingertips high, crescent lunge. Good, now find your cactuses. Exhale, hover that knee just off the earth. Inhale, build that strength. Exhale, cactus. Yes, last time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two, opening the hips. Inhale, straightening the right leg. Exhale, Trikonasana, reach it forward and down. Good, cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, warrior two. Good, almost done. Exhale, cartwheel down the hands, runner's lunge. Framing that foot, big inhale, sweep it high, three-legged dog. Exhale through your last vinyasa here. Take as long as you need.
Inhaling through the nose. Biggest exhale. Dropping both knees down to your child's pose. Inviting that yin energy into the body here, really softening. Notice the rhythm of your heartbeat. The rhythm of your breath. The temperature of your skin. And then notice how the body feels a little easier. A little more space through the lower body. Gently using the palms to support you, rolling up through the spine, coming to find a hero pose, just sitting onto your heels. We'll shift the weight onto our bottoms, bring the legs out in front of us, and then gently bring ourselves all the way to the top of our mat. Check you've got enough space behind you here. And then I invite you to come into some rock and rolls up and down the spine. Take as many as you need. And notice any difference. And then when you're ready, allow the back body to come down to the earth here. Start to hug the knees into your chest. Take hold of the shins. And rock from side to side. Really using this as a massage for the lower back and your glutes. And then we'll ground both feet down to the earth and take a reclined pigeon. Sending the right toes up towards the ceiling, flexing through the right foot. And then exhale to pop it on top of your left thigh. Guiding that right knee out there, real external rotation of the right hip joint. Maybe this is enough and you just simply stay here. Maybe you want to deepen it further by floating the left toes off the earth and wrapping the hands around the back of your left thigh and squeezing it in towards your chest. Again, finding a version of this pose that suits your bodies today. Releasing both feet back down to the earth. And then switching sides, left toes float to the ceiling. Big exhale, pop it on top of your right thigh. Good, check you're really flexing through that left foot and then match whatever you did on the first side. And then gently releasing both feet down to the earth. Heel toe the feet as wide as the edge of your mat. Bring your arms into that beautiful T shape, nice and wide. Take up lots of space. And then drop the knees to the left hand side here, inviting that supine twist back into the body. This time maybe you want to deepen by taking the gaze over towards the right hand side. And maybe even popping that left foot on top of your right knee. Just that gravity help bring it down that little bit deeper.
Inhaling back to center. Exhaling over to the right. Again, matching whatever you did on that first side. Inhaling back to center, hugging the knees into your chest one final time here. And I invite you now to take any final movements that you need before we make our way into our Shavasana. So maybe that's a happy baby. Maybe that's sending the feet up to the ceiling and just giving the legs a little bit of a shake. And then grabbing any blankets or cushions and start to bring that full back body all the way down towards the earth. Opening the palms towards the ceiling. Taking a nice big inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And just bring your awareness into the physical body. Ask yourself how you feel now in comparison to the beginning of our class. And I invite you to stay in your Shavasana here for as long as you need. Thank you very much for joining me today and for allowing me to look after you all. Namaste.